But the Lord God said, it is not good for man to be alone. I will make a helper. Who? A what? A helper. Someone to help. Someone to support. Someone to be there, not someone to control. Not someone to belittle. Not someone to dominate. Not someone to do anything other but to help. Woman is man's helper. So we get down to verse 21. And so just in my own testimony where this is, there's a lot going on in my life. There's a lot of parables. But like I was saying, with what the season I'm stepping into my life, I said, you see, God has me right where I need to be, and I fulfill this. And now God has placed her in front of me. And I got to say that I truly believe she was placed there in my life for a season just as this. Turns out when she was here and Jessica was here, she had visions of her going to be marrying a pastor and like this, and here I am sitting here today and blah. But there's a lot to it, guys, that God is just saying yes, but over there, okay. So the Lord God caused the man to fall into a deep sleep. While the man slept, the Lord God took out one of the man's ribs and closed up the opening. Then the Lord God made a woman from the rib and brought her to the man. What did he make her from? No. It's his other half. The actual word here is not a rib. The actual context here is God took man's other half, his other side. Literally, as in the Hebrew, it would be cutting a man directly down in the middle, and he took half of the person. That is why when two people come together, they become one. That is why a 9 and a 1 make a perfect 10, because the woman is the man's other half. The other side of him, the woman completes the man. That's why opposites naturally and there's that friction and there's that. But literally in the Hebrew, that word, I don't have the word in it, but it is not rib. It means that God took man's other half and made woman. And so, like I say, when two come together and they become one whole person. I love this in verse 25. It says, now the man and his wife were both naked, but they felt no shame. Again, that's not naked as in unclothed. That's naked as in they were vulnerable. They were completely open, 100%, no deceit, no shame. And this is before God. You know what I mean? First and foremost, they were vulnerable towards God. They had no shame towards God. But they were together in complete vulnerability, complete openness together. There was no tension. There was no manipulation. There was no trying to get the other to go a certain direction, because they were both one together, because they were both two halves who were made whole. And the two became one, and they became one person. And so they were vulnerable. And so then the whole time I've been building this relationship, there's been open. I mean, I'm talking like here, I'm vulnerable, and I'm pulling out on her. Like, we're going to get open. We're going to be vulnerable. We're going to get out our darkness now. You know what I mean? We're going to be vulnerable and open, and I'm going to be understanding, and I'm going to know you, and you're going to know me, and we're going to build this. Why? Because this here is the perfect example of what God meant for relationship. Right there, they were both naked, but they felt no shame. They were completely vulnerable with each other. That is the ultimate relationship. Now, let me see where we're in. Now I'm going to go over to Genesis 3. I know the serpent was the shrewdest of all the wild animals the Lord God had made. One day he had asked the woman, did God really say, you must not eat the fruit from any tree of the garden? You see, the snake goes and he starts whispering in the girl's ear. You see, there's a lot to this. First thing I want to tell you. Oh, yeah, it was me. Wow. Hello? No, they didn't. That's weird. But help me get back to where I was in my thinking. Women, you are your man's greatest gift from God. You are the crown. You are the one who steers you are his neck. He might be the head, but you are the neck. The way that you walk and the way that you live will dictate the way you all go. The man you are, I'm going to show you, you have a distinct role. Yes, you are the head. Yes, you are the leader. Yes, you are this. But it specifically shows here, when the woman turns and goes the wrong way, she doesn't follow the command. The man generally follows, man. It doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to and all that. But I'm just saying, that's not even here nor there. I just want, because that actually goes into show a little bit later. A little bit later in some of the scriptures that I'm going to bring up. But there was another one I wanted to actually read. Okay. Chapter 3, verse 16. Oh, that's a hard one. Someone holler when it's there, so I got to. All right. Thank you. Then he said to the woman, I will sharpen the pain. This is after the fall. They've eaten from the tree. Serpent got a hold of it. They both died there. Then he said to the woman, I will sharpen the pain of your pregnancy, and in pain you will give birth. And you will desire